and that will be sent out either later on today or tomorrow. So there's going to be some fantastic information that's covered. So if you miss anything, do not worry. You can always go back and review the recording. Also attached to that recording is going to be a 2-question questionnaire. We are constantly seeking feedback from our students and alumni. We want to make sure that we are providing you with sessions that you're interested in. So we would encourage you to fill that out. I will share it here in the chat as we go along. So certainly take the time to fill that out. We would really appreciate that. As we've already discovered with sharing where we're calling in from, sharing our LinkedIn, the chat is open. We will have a designated Q&A at the end of the session. So if you do have questions, feel free to post those into the chat, and then we will read those off and get those questions answered for you. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Catherine with ManTech.
Thank you so much, RJ. And I'm quite sad now. This is your last one, but I'm happy that ManTech gets to be your last career operator program. So I'm so excited. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Catherine. I am the military program lead here with ManTech. I'm going to try to make this as much fun for you as it most possibly can be as I sit here and talk. I'm going to share twice with you. First, I'm going to do a video so you can see really what ManTech is all about from the people who actually work here. And then I'm going to go into a slideshow, just talk a little bit about the company, what we do, go over just fun facts about everything. A little bit of background about me. I've been with ManTech for a little over a year. Absolutely love what I do. I am on the talent channels, events, and partnership team. So what that means is I work on a team that does university recruiting, early career hiring. We support military hiring. We also help with our social media and branding and marketing outreach as well. So we kind of do a little bit of everything. Absolutely, again, love what I do. I'm so excited that you all joined or will be watching this video later on. So I'm going to share my screen right now. So we are going to watch a quick video of what ManTech is. Okay. And it's quick, minute and a half. So here we go.
Every moment of every mission, ManTech is advancing, continuously fueling our clients' ability to navigate unfamiliar territory and tackle the most complex challenges. Our expertise is deep, our commitment unwavering. And because there are always new threats on the horizon, our unrelenting drive for efficiency, modernization, and quality is a vital component of mission success. With exceptional expertise in emerging technologies, cyber superiority, data and AI, digital transformation, and intelligent engineering, ManTech delivers proven solutions. By bringing digital to the mission, we transform data into action and achieve extraordinary results. For defense, for intelligence, and across federal civilian agencies, ManTech is the essential partner for supporting and safeguarding the nation's interests. The partner for securing the future. At ManTech, we are always advancing.
So a quick little video, absolutely love that video because it's what we do from the people who do it. So I am going to share a PowerPoint now. Just bear with me as I switch over. Because who doesn't love a great PowerPoint? I know I absolutely love a great PowerPoint. So who we are, ManTech, that's me, and ManTech. So hang on, going, let's see. Okay. Again, military program lead here with ManTech. Very excited to be speaking with you all. Thank you so much for coming. If you're a veteran, thank you so much. Supporter, advocate, thank you just from coming from the university. We appreciate you being here so much today. So who we are, ManTech is the trusted mission-focused partner delivering next-generation technology solutions and services to support the U.S. federal government. We have been in business for more than 57 years, and we are going strong. We're headquartered out of Herndon, Virginia, but we do have so many locations around the world. We hire overseas. We have programs in Germany, Saudi Arabia, Iraq. We have an office in Hawaii. Everyone seems to love that office, so we have an office in Hawaii. We have a very big presence in the DMV area because we're located in Herndon. We also have a presence down in Fort Bragg as well in the North Carolina area. So there's many different opportunities that we have. And we have many different core capabilities that we're a part of: cyber, digital, software systems development, mission operations. We are an 80% cleared company as well. So when you look on our career websites, which I'll touch base later, you can search by clearance as well. And there is an option for no clearance because there are people with no clearances, like I am. So there is that too. Okay, so our mission, vision, and values. Our mission is empowering our nation, and our vision is securing the future. Our values, I love our values here at ManTech: trust, respect, and quality. We earn and protect the trust of our clients, employees, and investors through an enduring foundation of respect, fairness, credibility, and honoring our commitment always. We are a highly talented workforce, advancing a culture of respect and opportunity. And quality, we deliver exceptional quality to clients through differentiated technology solutions. As you saw in that video, we do many different things. I was just at an event recently and I heard about the human mapping that we were doing and how that's incorporated into the NFL. So it's actually quite really amazing, some of the things that we are part of and that we're able to really support and help with the world. Solving the U.S. federal government's toughest tech and mission challenges. We do elite offensive cyberspace operations at speed and scale. Data and AI, that is the new up and coming. It used to be cyber. Cyber is still up there, and now all you hear around is data and AI, I feel. Space launch engineering, rapid prototyping, intelligence agencies, modern nation warfare. We are in the healthcare field as well. So we do have healthcare positions, logistics positions. We kind of, again, I kind of say we do it all, but we kind of do it all, which is really great. So that means there's many opportunities. So we're always advancing mission success. So how we do it is we have primary practice areas: cyberspace, data, digital modernization, and intelligent engineering. So what's great about this is we take our practice areas and then they move into our core capabilities. So if you're in a specific practice area, you're able to support many of the different core capabilities that we have from today's clients that we have. So it's really great. And then there's learning opportunities to really become skilled in that practice area. For our veterans out there, we have some major awards that we're a part of. Best for Vets, Military Friendly. We're in the process of doing the 2025 awards now. We also have many partnerships for growing education, talent development with Purdue Global University. We have Skillsoft opportunities that you can do. So ManTech is really great about work-life balance, about growing education. It's not just linear when you come in. When you come in, we want you to grow. We want you to learn. One of the biggest things that we have too here at ManTech is we have a mobility team. So if for some reason the program disappeared, we want you to feel that you are an employee of ManTech. So that mobility program actually helps to try to place you onto a different program if you're looking to stay with ManTech instead of following the program around, which is just amazing. Nothing is guaranteed always, but we have a team dedicated to help support you in that effort. So the careers section. This is a screenshot of what you would see if you click onto ManTech Careers. You could search by keywords, location, postal radius, time type, which is remote, hybrid, or in person. I know some of the questions will be, do you have remote roles? We do have remote roles. Last I checked, there was only about 8 of them right now. So we are a government contractor and the government went back into the office. So we kind of went back in with them. We have more hybrid positions than we do remote, and then we have in person. And then if you are using your clearance, you're most likely in person because you might have to be in a SCIF because of that clearance. So you can check that out as well. So we do have remote, just not many at this time. You can search by job categories. So that'll be either internships or engineering or cyber. You can search by category. The remote type would be fully remote, hybrid, or in person. And then you could check by clearance. Clearances, we have clearance roles from no clearance, public trust, secret, all the way up to full scope poly. So please check that out as well. So the path is different for all. I kind of love talking to everyone as they're networking and reaching their goals, because you always hear something different. So I'm going to give you my disclaimer right now. So if you talk to 10 recruiters, you're going to get 10 different answers, and no one person is right. So what you have to remember is what works best for you. Just because it works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work best for another person. If you take nothing away from the conversation with me today, I hope that you just take a perspective. And I want to give you a perspective of a different way of thinking. Again, don't have to take any advice, but it is a different way of thinking. Again, different recruiters have different information. So when you're looking for roles, and I assume everybody is either looking for a role or have looked for a role at one point in their careers, they're researching companies. How do we make a difference? How do we set ourselves apart? Things that you have to look on is your story. So what I mean about your story is, do you have your 30-second spiel ready? If I pick somebody in the audience, I won't do that because I know we don't love to get voluntold. What would be your 30-second spiel? How would you describe yourself in 30 seconds to sell yourself? You can also have your longer story, which is your 2-minute pitch. Those pitches are how you sell yourself when you're networking. In your stories, you have to check your goals. I kind of do the tree because I like the tree model, because you have your roots, you have the tree branches, and then you have your leaves. And the leaves, they drop down and they change, just like your goals change, just like your networking's change. Goals, you have to see, what are you looking for pay? Are you looking for work-life balance in a company? Things like that. What I love about ManTech is we have the ManTech difference. We have an inclusive culture. ManTech fosters an inclusive and supportive culture where every employee, regardless of age, is valued and respected. We have a talented workforce. We work alongside a diverse and talented team of professionals who are passionate about making a difference. We have work-life balance, benefits from a strong emphasis on work-life balance, ensuring you have the flexibility to manage both your personal and professional lives effectively. We have endless career growth. And we have an innovative work environment, engaging in challenging and innovative projects that contribute to national security and technology advancements, providing a sense of purpose and fulfillment. So when you're looking at companies, which I hope you're looking at ManTech, those are the things that make us stand out for you. That's how we want to be seen to you and ask questions. We're there for you. Networking is huge. Networking is in different phases. You can network in your personal life. You can network in your social life. You can network at work. You can even network when you're going to the mailbox. I have a story where I went, picked up my mail, didn't realize my neighbor from around the block was worked at NASA. And all of a sudden I made a connection because they worked at NASA. They were looking for people. No, I never worked for NASA. But what I did was I created a connection and a resource. And that's what you have to do for networking. Networking, you could do different ways. If you're here right now, you're networking, especially networking with ManTech. So now I have your name. So if you email us or something like that, hey, I was at this career employment spotlight. So it's great. You can network that way. Networking through LinkedIn, if you check the ManTech LinkedIn page, you can look in people, and then you can look at the different recruiters. Our recruiters have done a spotlight where Meet the Recruiters. We want you to know that we're personable and we're there for you. And the recruiters at ManTech post the roles they have. So they want you to apply for the roles. They want you to reach out to them. They may not always be able to respond, but seeing your message puts you on their radar. So networking is great to do. Networking is through LinkedIn. We got a hot mic, guys. Thank you. LinkedIn, so I recommend checking your LinkedIn as well. Connecting with the recruiters on ManTech, seeing the roles that they have, apply to the roles if you're interested, and go from there. If you're looking to go into a career change and you're unsure what to do, you can ask for informational calls. Look at ManTech, look at the people who are doing the role that you're doing, send a message to them. Hey, I saw that you're a network engineer. I'm really looking to move into that field. Would you be open to a 15-minute informational call? Some people call them coffee chats as well. I've never really seen anyone say no to that. I've seen, I can't do it this week, but next week. But informational calls is a way to network. And when you're doing that, make sure you're not saying, hey, I'm looking for a job, because networking goes both ways, because you have to offer something as well. So what you're doing is you're creating that first impression with that person. So when they do have a role, hey, I remember talking to X, Y, and Z. That's so great. They would be a great fit for this role. Let me reach out and see if they're still looking or something like that. So that's what networking is. It's creating those connections. You could be going to a friend's birthday party and create a networking connection there. We're always networking. We're always talking to people. Resumes are very, very big hot topic. Cover letters, are they there for us? Should we write them? How should I write my resume? Do I put a professional summary? Do I put bullet points? Do I put an extra professional summary under each role? Can I have a 2-page resume? Do I have to have a 1-page resume? These are all great questions. There is not a set stone answer for anything unless a company says, I require a cover letter or I require X, Y, and Z. ManTech does not require a cover letter, just so you know. Resumes, you want to make it so that it's easier for a recruiter to see. When you are looking at multiple resumes all day long, you're maybe scanning a resume 1 to 2 minutes to try to find the information. So you want to tailor your resume. Is that the best practice? Yes. Have I always tailored my resume? No, 100%. It's long, it's tiring sometimes you don't want to do it. But you'll notice when you don't tailor your resume, you may not get as many callbacks because you're just sending in a generic resume. When recruiters are looking at your resume, they match to see if what's in the job description matches your qualifications. So you always want to be able to meet the basic qualifications when you're applying to a position. Sometimes you'll get knockout questions if this position needs a certain clearance and you don't have that clearance, you're not going to be put through because there's just no way for that to happen. Clearances, I also get this question. Does ManTech sponsor clearances? Yes, we do, but it's role and program dependent. So what you have to check is for the wording in the position. When it says ability to obtain and maintain, that's a potential for a sponsorship. If it's saying needs active or active TSSCI, that's not going to be a sponsored role, and it has to be there at the time of application. You also want to make sure your resumes match your LinkedIn if you have an updated LinkedIn. There are recruiters that do check. Sometimes you want to make sure your titles at least match. Bullet points are always going to change, but you want to make sure your titles match and make sure your dates are up to date as well. Again, there is no right or wrong answer for a resume. I am going to recommend, though, if you have a full CV of 15 pages, do not send that. Recruiters are not going to read 15 pages worth of a resume. That is just guaranteed. They just don't have enough time to. I've seen 2-page resumes. I've seen 1. I've seen 3. Depending on the role, sometimes I'm going to use, for example, military careers. You have a 20-year military career plus. Sometimes you can't fit it on 2 pages with education and training and things like that. I understand that. Try to condense as much as you can. Interview prep. So a lot of people either love interviews or hate interviews. Great way to do interview prep is if you don't want to have that awkwardness of asking your friend, hey, can you ask me a behavioral-based question? And behavioral-based questions are those, can you tell me a time when? Because everybody just feels awkward staring at each other. But it's great to get that awkwardness out of the way while you're with someone you know and not in front of a hiring manager. What you can do is you can actually take a phone and just record yourself answering questions. So you can Google behavioral-based questions. LinkedIn, I think, has a database of over 1,000 questions. Can you tell me about a time when you had to share feedback with your leadership team, and how did that go? Can you tell me about a time when you had to work on a project and the results were not as you expected? What's great about answering those questions is a lot of companies say, can you use it? It's either the STAR method, which is situation, task, action, result. There's a PAR method, but what it is it's always a beginning, middle, and end with your stories when you're answering your questions. I kind of refer to it as the 3 Little Bears stories, not too long, not too short, just right. But when you're ending your question, your answer for your question, the results, even if it was a negative where we didn't meet our goals, you can always end it on a positive. And that's what's great, because you can say, we didn't meet X, Y, and Z goal, but we learned throughout the process of how can we do better for next time, and next time we're going to do X, Y, and Z so that we can succeed and reach those numbers. So that's really great too. You could always spin something to a positive, and that's what they're looking for. A lot of times people are looking for mindset, for soft skills. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much for taking my call today. How are you doing today? And if you just say good, it's kind of awkward. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. How are you? Those are the soft skills sometimes that recruiters look for. So if you do the interview prep, you'll be set for your interviews. Also, a lot of interviews are still virtual. You can have bullet points of your stories all around your desktop and reference your notes. Don't use AI. Companies know when you have people telling you or feeding you answers, but you can write notes and have your stories down, especially when you want to ask questions to the hiring managers. Go with those 3 or 4 questions prepared. Even if you don't get to ask all of the questions, at least you're ready for all of the different scenarios that you could be in as well. Also, on resumes and interviews, I'm going to say this, always make sure that you can back up your skills. Recruiters speak to each other for different companies, and they know what's kind of happening, and they can tell if you're kind of fibbing a little bit on what your skill set is. So if it says that you need 8 years of experience and you don't have those 8 years of experience, be honest with it. Also, never sell yourself short. I have heard from people in various cases, sometimes they were like, should I take my master's program off my resume because I feel like someone won't hire me because I'm too overqualified. You earn your degrees. You've earned all of the experiences that you have had. Do not sell yourself short. Always put them on there. Again, I have networking goals repeated on here just because the way you network changes over the course of your career, whether you're doing it professionally, whether you're going to events. But the thing is, just always network no matter where you're going. And what's great is a lot of fairs are virtual now. So you could all be hanging out in your pajamas and a nice professional polo or top. No one knows any different. So there are so many different things you can do. That's why I say path is different for all. That was a lot of information on a lot of stuff. So you all basically got recruiter 101 there of kind of things what we look for. I'm sure a bunch of questions have been thinking in your head, and I can't wait to hear about them. I'm excited for that. This is also our resources page. We have a veteran talent community. If you're a veteran or a military spouse, on our main careers webpage, we do have a talent community you could sign up for. As soon as it opens, you'll get a nice little video to check out, and you can sign up for there as well. We have our website, that Who We Are video. That's the video I showed you earlier today. I'm very excited that you saw that. We also have all of our handles for social media, which we do post on regularly, so you can check out to see where we are, things like that. And then I have my LinkedIn as well. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to answer a question. If I can't do a phone call, I'm always happy to try to respond as quickly as I can, but please have patience with me as I do get multiple messages. That's the only thing. I am not someone who's going to get upset or something if you push yourself up every so often, just to remind me. I also say if it's an urgent matter, write urgent in it, but please do not send me 200 messages today of everyone on this call writing urgent on it. I will just cry later. I will try to respond to all of them, but I promise you, please don't do that to me. And if I don't respond, find RJ or someone else and tell them, hey, why isn't Catherine answering me? And I'm going to be like, oh no, I really meant to. I have that squirrel effect, which I'm sure some of you have, where you get caught up in one email and you meant to have it, or it's set up in draft and you're like, oh no. So please have patience with me. And I have been talking for way too long now. So thank you so much for listening to me. And I'm going to pass it back to RJ, and I'm going to figure out how to stop sharing right now.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine, for sharing not only a little bit about ManTech, but also some of those recruiter insights. I always find those to be very helpful, especially just to get an idea of what recruiters are ultimately looking for, and anything that we can do here at WGU to kind of separate ourselves from, any other applicants that might be coming in. I think is helpful. We do have a few questions that have come in through the chat. One that popped up. Does ManTech hire non-U.S. citizens for any of their open roles? Like, do you have to be a U.S. citizen for any of the roles?
I'm going to say it's role dependent. It will say
Oh,
on the job description,
okay.
needs to be a U.S. citizen for it.
Awesome. And then how frequently is a security clearance required for internships with ManTech?
Not always, but our interns do have security clearances. But what's great is with the internships, we can sponsor a clearance as well for certain programs. So if you're with us a long enough time, we can put you in maybe a little earlier for it. And then by the time the role becomes available, your clearance might have already cleared by then.
And then as people are thinking of questions, please feel free to post those into the chat. I did have a quick question. Now, you touched on a lot of positions, just like, that do require clearances. How about some of those business positions? What type of opportunities does ManTech have for individuals that might have more of like a business background?
Sure. So we have so many roles, and I should have gone over things that I'm looking for right now. So I'm going to do that briefly too. So we are looking for software engineers in Norfolk. We are looking for C&O positions as well, computer network engineers. I've seen program management, project management roles that are open as well. We have a business development side to all of our branches as well. So within ManTech, we have a Marine sector, we have an Army sector, we have a Navy sector, we have our corporate sector as well. So each one of those has different types of roles. We have a whole legal team, a legal side that has roles as well, but we do have sales, we have business development positions. We have legal positions, we have marketing positions that open as well. We have a lot of technical program manager positions. We are very big and heavy IT cyber based, but that doesn't mean we don't have roles that are in healthcare. We have roles that are heavy mechanics in Germany. We have roles that are tank cleaners. Don't exactly know what that is, but if you're in Germany and you want to clean tanks, we have that as well. So it's not only IT there. So we do have business roles, we have analytics roles, we have data scientist roles. We do have them. So great things about our roles. I'll touch on this really quickly. Some of them you may see have been open for 8 months, and some of them may have only been open for 2 days. We are a government contractor, so we open up roles when we're bidding on proposals as well. So we do letter of intents. So fingers crossed, everything works out, the stars align, we are granted the program. Those letter of intents will then get a start date once the program is awarded, and hopefully if it was to us, then we would fill it in for that. So we do different types of things like that. So we do letter of intent roles, but we also have a lot of funded roles where we need to put the person in the seat right away. So we have roles like that. If you need clarification or try to find, hey, I'm just trying to figure it out, send a message. We could try to figure it out with you and give you some information. I do always recommend when you see the role, apply. Sometimes our roles only stay open for 3 days because we don't want thousands of people to apply. We don't want you to feel, oh, I'm applying to ManTech, I'm just going through a black hole of resumes. We don't want that. That's why we close it when it's a smaller amount of resumes, so we don't have as many resumes to check. If we need to reopen it, we will, but that's why sometimes roles only stay open for 3 days.
We had a few questions come in geared towards just experience in general. So for some of those entry-level positions that you might be hiring for at ManTech, do they require experience? Do you hire individuals that maybe haven't graduated yet from universities for any of those open roles?
Yeah, great question. So in the job descriptions, you'll see sometimes they will say a degree is needed, but it'll also say in lieu of education, like it'll add 3 more years of experience. So you can substitute years of experience for education with certain roles. There are certain roles that are like super niche that maybe need the electrical engineering degree or something like that, but it's not for every single position. It'll say it in the job description. I know that's probably not the greatest answer because then you all got to go read the job descriptions and things like that. But it is program dependent, but we do take experience for education with certain roles.
Awesome. What kind of education assistance does ManTech offer?
So we do, you can actually get a free master's or bachelor's program with Purdue Global University. There are people in this company who are doing their second or third master's programs because they want to do continuing education. We also do certifications through Skillsoft. as well when you're an employee. The only thing is with Purdue Global, you are not able to put it towards a PhD. I have checked that out. I'm just not that person that can do multiple master's degrees. So it is really great, and we are continuously promoting education and learning. So that's how we promote our education.
Would any of that, like say it is a current student here at WGU, is there anything as far as like tuition assistance towards let's say their degree from WGU, or is it only for Purdue Global?
No, we have the tuition reimbursement as normal.
Okay, awesome. And then as far as positions go, is it best to apply for those positions on LinkedIn, going straight to the ManTech site? What do you usually recommend for applying for some open roles?
I always say go to the career site. It's the best way to do it because then you have your candidate profile and you're able to check and see it updated. If you apply on LinkedIn, it's great because it's a fast apply sometimes and it just goes through, but there's no way to really track it. Just so you know too, with our, when you upload your resume, you can upload one resume. There's no way to upload multiple resumes. So if you're applying for maybe a software engineer role and a program management role, I would do a generic resume and then update the candidate profile information in your section.
Awesome. The next question that came in, what is the interview process like? Is it virtual, in person? And if open, and if individuals are open to relocating, does ManTech offer relocation assistance?
Yeah, great question. So depending on the program, I have seen relocation assistance, or I could see a sign-on bonus, which would then be in lieu. So you could use the sign-on bonus as a relocation expense, but that's program specific. Interview process. Again, I know you guys are hating my answers right now. But I could tell you when I got hired onto my role, I went through 5 interviews and it was in person on top of a screen. So I kind of just got placed into a room and just kept talking to person after person after person. It depends on the role. So if you are a machine mechanic, you would just speak to the hiring manager. It would be a simple phone call and you would speak directly to the hiring manager after speaking to the recruiter. So you're always the process is you're either gonna speak to a sourcer or a recruiter. They're gonna do your screen. They're the person who gets your resume to the hiring manager. So don't get hung up on titles. If a sourcer reaches out to you, they are just as important as a recruiter. Difference between the sourcer and the recruiter is a recruiter has the ability to actually offer you pay and an offer letter at the end, whereas a sourcer is specifically just trying to see what resumes can I get to this hiring manager to see what's a fit, but they are both equally important. Once you go through that, hiring manager says yes, then it's the interview process. We do virtual and in-person interviews, depending on if you're relocating, things like that. There are people that I talk to all the time that are on West Coast that I talk to, but I work here. So if it's physically not possible to be in an in-person interview, virtual is still the way to go sometimes with that. But the recruiter or sourcer will tell you the interview process if you're pushed through for an interview before the interview. So there are no surprises. You'll know what's happening.
Awesome. Next one that came in, how is the business development team structured at ManTech? Is it more of a capture-driven, relationship-based, or solution consulting focused?
So I am not a pro in the business development world. If that person wants to send me a message, I can get more information to them. I have been to the trade shows where we've sat at, and I've spoken to business development leads there. I feel like we kind of do it all. It's networking, it's reaching out, it's making those connections. So I'm going to say it's kind of everything, but I can get more information to that person if they would like.
What's the best way that they can get ask that question to you, Catherine? Is it send you an email? Is it connect with you over LinkedIn and send you a message?
Send an email to that military@mantech.com email address. Put in there, we spoke at Career Quest. You could even say attention Catherine on it because there are different people that check that email, but I check that email daily. But I know all candidate inquiries go to that email box. So I set time aside every day to check that. That email will be the best way. But just reference Career Quest, and we spoke here and the question, and I'll be able to try to find more information.
Awesome. Next one that came in, and I love these questions, so keep them coming for people that are here. If someone is currently using tuition assistance at their company and has to pay out of pocket if leaving early, is negotiating available if hired by ManTech to get that covered?
Well, from a recruiter standpoint, as a person, as a generic general recruiter, I'm going to say anything is possible until someone tells you no. I'm always going to say always ask, because the worst thing they could do is tell you no. Have we done that at ManTech before? I don't know. So that is me, telling you the information that I have. Is it possible? It could be possible, but I don't know. And that is a program specific. Just like you negotiate salary sometimes, just like you can negotiate days off. Everything's an ask, but you have to also read the room. And sometimes if it's just like no and you feel it, don't ask, because then you're just not getting it.
Awesome. Next one that's come in, what can a job candidate do to stand out? Specifically, get an eye of a recruiter during the application process.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think connecting with the recruiters online would be great, on LinkedIn, and making that connection. Even if they don't respond, you're putting a message in front of them that has your name and your information, and always include your resume if you can. When you message recruiters, always give them as much information, but don't write a long book. But hey, here's my resume. I'm looking for X, Y, Z. I applied for X, Y, and Z. One of the biggest things that recruiters can't really do is there are so many people that need help. We can't do the work for you. So if you ask me, Catherine, this is my resume. I have a logistics background. What roles do you think I'm a good fit for? Do you have any roles that I could apply to? My first answer is thank you so much for the information. I always look at the resume. But if I have something that I know of, I will share. But I'm going to say, have you checked our career website? Got to meet the recruiters halfway and do the work, do 50-50 for us. So I think that's one of the best ways to stand out, when you're proactive and you're doing that work to help support us as well.
Then the next one that came in, how does the company gauge individual performance throughout the course of employment?
So great question. So with us, we have quarterly, I actually have a weekly check-in with my manager. And then we do quarterly systems where we write our goals, what we're looking to do. Are we looking to grow in any field? Are we looking to change roles down the line? Are we happy with what we're doing? We also fill out surveys. So there are many things in place here at ManTech to make sure that we're growing, we're learning, we're happy as an employee as well. And then we do quarterly large meetings as well, all hands meetings, where we actually go in person and talk and learn, hear different things, are able to share input. So many different ways we could do that, but we are very active with our leadership teams.
The next one is geared towards internships. Is there anyone specific you would recommend connecting with just beyond submitting an application if somebody was trying to stand out? And I know you had mentioned connecting with a recruiter. Is that something specific? Like, is there an individual recruiter that is doing the applications for internship opportunities? And is it possible for people to connect with them?
Great question. So what I'm going to say, I'm going to give you a name that you can connect on LinkedIn. There is a talent community for internships and early career, which you can apply to. I'm always going to recommend putting your resume into that, because her name is Meg. Can't really say her last name because it's long, but I'm going to type it in here. If you do message her, she gets bombarded with messages. So I would follow her on LinkedIn to see what she posts about, connect with that internship community, because she looks at all of the resumes in that talent pipeline. And that's the best way to connect with her, by uploading your information into the internship community.
If an individual doesn't have a military background or connection, are they at a disadvantage in being offered jobs at ManTech?
No, not at all. So I kind of gear myself a little bit when I speak towards military, because that's just what I focus on here at the company. We are 100% open to anyone that has the qualifications.
For internships, can you touch on just the different internships that you all offer? We had a question come in geared towards cybersecurity, and would love to just know, like, what are qualifications generally used for your internship opportunities?
Of course. So what I'm doing right now is I'm opening up the ManTech career website because I want to see if there's any listed. So when we do get internships, they are posted on our site just like a regular open direct hire requisition. So applying to those roles would be the best option. I know the university team was just going around to the circle of schools in the DMV area, so they are currently promoting right now as well. I am looking at the job category. So there's an administrative internship that's popped up. I'm actually going to type internship here and see what administrative and technical internship is what popped up currently. So right now there's a cybersecurity intern in Fairmont that's open, and it posted September 18th of this year. So we do have 2 internships right now. So right now that team is working with the different programs to try to align roles for internships. That's kind of what we do for the internships team.
Can you set reminders on your job board on that platform? Just, if somebody can set notifications if opportunities do pop up.
Yes, of course. We
Okay.
encourage the daily alerts.
Awesome. Next one, and I love this question. So thank you for asking it, Shamar. How does ManTech stay competitive when so many government contractors are now integrating AI, cybersecurity, and data solutions into their offerings?
Great question. I am going to say it's our people and our culture. It's the connections that we make. It's how we produce our work. It's how we connect with others while we do our work. So every company is a little bit different. I can only speak about ManTech. We are always learning. We are always growing. We are always advancing. So I think our people and how we work is how we stay competitive.
And then I guess taking that a step further with the AI aspect, is that something, obviously that's a very hot topic in all industries. How are you all leveraging AI? And I don't know necessarily if you have that answer for some of the specific positions, but is that something maybe your office is utilizing? Like, I'd love to know like how you all might be embracing AI technology.
Great question. I wish I had a more detailed answer for you, but I don't at this time. I can tell you because I saw there was a chat GPT and I know AI and external resources. We have been taught resources of Gemini, so extra functions like that to help support and help rewriting things. We have a practice area for data and AI. So there are people in ManTech who are specifically trained, who are the SMEs, who learn and help coach others through that. I am not one of those. I don't have the names, but if you have a specific question, I could try to find out more information, but we are ever growing.
Awesome. I'm going to give people another second to ask any questions that they might have. Just a reminder that this session is being recorded, and that recording will be sent out. That will be sent out either later on this afternoon or it will be sent out tomorrow morning. Also attached to that recording is going to be a questionnaire. I'm actually going to share that questionnaire in the chat now. Like I had mentioned, we are constantly seeking your feedback as WGU students and alumni. So if you could just take the time to fill that out, it should take you no more than 2 minutes, but that'll also be attached to the recording if you're not able to fill it out now. But go back and reference anything that Catherine mentioned. She was able to touch on, some big picture stuff with ManTech, and also some great insights as far as what are some things you can do during the application process, networking. So make sure that you are, taking advantage and going back and rewatching this. We did get a couple more questions into the chat. Is ManTech currently researching, developing AI internally?
I don't have a specific answer for you on that because I am not dialed into the AI department right now. But I'm gonna say we're always advancing and we're always learning and we're always growing.
And then another one came in. What kind of learning curve do new hires usually face when adjusting to working with federal clients versus the private sector?
I think that's a great question. I think it's an adjustment. So if you're military and you're going corporate, that's an adjustment. If you're a college student and this is your first corporate job, there's an adjustment as well. So working, you have to remember, they're still people. Everyone is still people. We just have a different kind of boss and restrictions that we have to work towards. Each program has a client that we have to make sure that we are following the rules that we're given. We're making sure that when they are asking for a person to fill a position, we're hitting all of those different areas. So some of our roles are very niche where we need 10 years of experience, things like that. Is it any different? No, it's still a person. It's still a boss. You're still reporting to them. You're still making sure your metrics are done. You're still making sure you're getting your work done as well. It is just, what are my metrics today? What do I have to do today? What am I following today? A job is a job, and our boss is still our boss.
Awesome. A couple more just came in. How can a candidate, specifically at ManTech, really distinguish themselves going through the application process? Specifically, this individual is looking at, or they have a programming background, and they want to make sure that they know where to spend their energy through the process.
Yeah, I think that's great. A question. I think networking. Networking is how you stand out. So check out the hiring fairs, the career fairs. We do in person, we do virtual. See where the ManTech team is going to be because you'll be able to speak to the recruiters. Those recruiters will then get your resume and float them around. I was gathering an email today of resumes to share out with leadership teams for their open roles. So networking, I think, is the best way to stand out. Also, informational interviews. Go onto the ManTech LinkedIn site, see the person who does that role currently. Ask it, hey, can I just learn a little bit about what you do? I'm really excited. I really want to be a part of ManTech. Can you share your journey? That's how you stand out. You got to make the extra effort as much as it is a full-time job to get a job is kind of how it is. And it is draining sometimes, but the benefits in the end are those connections. And you never know, you may meet a lifelong mentor that you'll be able to speak and reach out to no matter what point of your career you're in. And that's something that's very precious at this time, where it's very good to have those people you can reach out to.
And I'm also going to piggyback that off a little bit. Something that I think we probably should have mentioned at the beginning. We've hosted a few sessions with ManTech and Catherine. So it's one thing where, taking a look, and Catherine had brought up, hey, setting up those informational interviews. We have a lot of WGU alumni currently working at ManTech. So there's an opportunity there where you can potentially connect with an alum that's currently working there in a position that maybe you see yourself moving into in the future. So there's an opportunity to reach out and connect and say, hey, how are you leveraging your degree in your current role? Are you using your degree or some of the stuff that you learned? Any of the certs that you get as part of your degree program, like how are those being applied and what are you using on a day-to-day basis? So I think that's something to certainly keep in mind is we do have quite a bit of alumni working for ManTech. So certainly take advantage of that, lean into the alumni network that we have here at WGU and reaching out. And even if it's not necessarily with ManTech, maybe it's an individual that's in a position that you would like to get to, reach out to them, pick their brain, set up those informational interviews to get that insight and see how maybe they navigated their career, any mistakes that maybe they made over the course of their career that you can, learn from just by speaking to them. So that's a great opportunity to make sure that you are doing that. Another question that came in, most of the positions require clearance. Can individuals apply if they are eligible for clearance?
Great question. I would say as long as it says ability to obtain and maintain, those are the sponsor ones. If it says needs active top secret and you don't have that, you would just get that automatic knockout email because that clearance is needed from day one.
Another question that came in, especially geared towards IT professionals, what are some things that really stand out with potential candidates? Is it IT portfolios? What exactly, if it is portfolios, what exactly do you look at with those portfolios? How do you value short case studies? And would those be useful in as a part of the recruiting interviewing process?
Great question. I'm going to use an example of software engineers because I was just in an intake call with that. So what they look for is that one specifically needed 5 years of Java experience. So they look for, can you do the technical experience? Can you write the code? When they interview you, they'll either do, maybe they'll ask you to program in front of them, or just maybe answer IT questions. So they'll come up with a question and then say, what button would you hit in this case? So they need to know that you can do the work. Portfolios are always great to have because recruiters can take a look at that. Program managers, hiring managers can take a look at that as well if it's something that's there. Also, as you're learning and you're creating things, when you volunteer, that counts as work experience as well. Put it on your resume. Just because you don't get paid for it doesn't mean it doesn't count as work experience, because you are doing the role as well, and you are learning your skills and you're increasing those IT experiences that you need.
Do you recommend applying for jobs that you don't hit every single box for? This individual is trying to enter the cyber field, but most roles they've seen require years of professional experience in addition to a degree.
I always say, as long as you're 80% qualified, I would apply just to see. Also make sure that you hit the basic qualifications at least, because that's what the recruiters are looking for. But when you follow that suggestion, always make sure that you're not getting defeated if you get a no, because you already know when you apply that you don't meet all of those qualifications. But you may be the best out of everyone who doesn't meet all of the qualifications when people are applying, because the roles are so niche. And that's when you stand out, by speaking to people and networking. Right now, there are more people looking for jobs than there are jobs. So if you get a rejection letter, you just have to make sure, okay, got it, move on, and let's move to the next one. But I always say, if you meet at least 80%, especially in the preferred qualifications, apply and see what happens. You think of it this way: you're wasting 5 minutes to do an application, but it could be your dream career, and it could be years of experience and happiness that you have. And imagine if you just didn't use those 5 minutes to apply.
Another question came in, and we have hit on this, just as far as applying for roles that do, that are entry level positions that do require some years experience. And then one thing I'll throw out there is really, and we touched on it, like really leaning into the alumni network here and building out that professional network. Those of you that maybe joined us late, one thing we said at the beginning is, if you want to, we encourage you to expand your professional network. Share your LinkedIn in the chat, connect with each other. That's something where I think it's like 80% of all jobs now, those individuals don't even apply for them. They get them just through their professional network. So that's something where I would say lean into this network that we have here at WGU. We just hit over 400,000 alumni nationwide. Not every one of those is from our School of IT, but there's an opportunity there for you to really make some connections, and kind of pick the brain of individuals that might be working in those types of roles, like I said, or maybe individuals that didn't have a lot of experience or zero experience going in and applying for jobs, and picking their brain on, hey, what are some things you brought up during the interview process to make you really stand out? So that's something I would certainly encourage. I know Catherine has touched on it, a few different things with this. So make sure that we're taking advantage of that opportunity, and keep at it. Like, I can't stress that enough when applying for jobs. Like, I know it can be disheartening when you're applying and you're not hearing back, but it's really, you got to keep at it, keep applying, and keep altering things if you need to, if you're not seeing a lot of progress. and don't get discouraged. I forget like the percentage of number of jobs you apply for before you hear back. Like it is a large number, but don't get discouraged. Like keep applying, even if, and Catherine hit on it, even if you don't hit all of the boxes, if you hit 80%, like apply for that job. You have no, you don't know, maybe there is something that jumps out. So that's something I would encourage people to continue to do. Going through, and I want to be mindful of our time. Catherine, I want to give you the floor. Any closing remarks that you might have for us here at WGU? I want to make sure that we provide you with the opportunity to close us out here.
No, I appreciate it. RJ, I want to thank you and WGU for having ManTech, and I hope we can come back. And next time I'm going to bring our early career team with me so that I can definitely answer these internship questions for you right on the spot. Thank you so much for coming. Like RJ said, don't give up. You know, if you have to step away from the computer for an hour or half a day, go for a walk, reset your mind. Mental health is just as important when you're going through this. Use your resources, use your network, use your friends. You're not alone. As many people say, oh, nobody knows what someone has always been through it. Maybe worse, maybe not, but you're going to get through it. And that's what I'm going to tell you. There is always a light. You just have to find it. So just keep applying. Like RJ said, it takes 40, 50 resumes to applications to maybe get 4 or 5 interview screens, because there are so many people applying. So take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, take care of your physical health, and just keep going and take those breaks. And we at ManTech, we want you to apply. We're here for you. We're happy to answer questions if we can. If there are enough people have enough questions, I'm always open to opening up a Zoom room for 30 minutes and answering questions that way, because that might just be easier to answer them. But just know we want you to apply to ManTech. We are here for you. And thank you so much for having us.
Awesome. And thank you again, Catherine, for taking the time, jumping in, sharing those insights, and doing a great job just presenting ManTech to our community here at WGU. A reminder to everybody, session is recorded, so we'll send that out, like I said, either later on today or tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. And we certainly appreciate you jumping in and joining us today. Everybody have a fantastic rest of the week. Take care.